You're frozen in fear? Your teeth are falling out? What does it all mean? Click to unlock the secrets to your dreams.
Imagine facing, well, what feels like your final moments, only for it to turn into this journey of understanding yourself. Today on the deep dive, we're looking at a really vivid dream a listener shared. It's intense. You're running from these armed religious fundamentalists somewhere in the Middle East. You get trapped. You accept this is it.
Yeah.
But then you start floating. An acquaintance shows up on this weird floating shelf. And then bang, this super fast life review as you're forced through a wall. You wake up knowing something important. So our mission today is to kind of unpack all that. Look at the symbols, what they might mean for you, your inner world. We use a few different angles, Freudian ideas, maybe some indigenous or spiritual perspectives too.
Yeah, it's quite a dream. What's striking is how it just throws you right in, doesn't it? Life or death. These religious fundamentalists chasing you, if we put on a Freudian hat for a second, they could symbolize a really harsh inner critic. You know, that part of you that's always judging, maybe fighting against what you really want.
Exactly. That voice telling you what you should do, feeling relentless. And the setting, the Middle East. Freud might connect that to your own personal stuff, maybe things you've seen or read. It could stand for, I don't know, inner conflict, challenged beliefs.
That's a good point. Or thinking more spiritually, or maybe from some indigenous views, these figures could be seen as challenging energies. Or even like shadow aspects, those rigid, judgy bits of ourselves we don't like looking at. And the Middle East setting then could tie into something like ancient spiritual power, or maybe just unfamiliar territory inside your own mind.
And the guns, the threat. Yeah. Freud might see aggression there, maybe phallic symbols even.
Yeah, classic interpretation sometimes.
But spiritually.
Could be more like forces of opposition you're feeling. Maybe even feeling like a spiritual kind of attack.
Right. And getting cornered in that alley. Freud would probably say that's about feeling trapped, right? Yeah. Like there's no escape.
Totally. But link that to a spiritual test idea.
Yeah.
Could be the climax. Showing you need a completely new way to handle things, perhaps.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. You surrender to death. Freud might say that's the death of an old self. Maybe even a kind of wish fulfillment to escape something hard.
Well, yeah, or think about symbolic death and rebirth. That's huge in many spiritual traditions. It's about letting go of the ego, right? Making space for something new. And that contrast, hearing shots but feeling no pain, Freud might call that psychological detachment, the mind protecting itself.
Like a buffer, yeah.
But spiritually, could be your consciousness starting to separate from the body. It highlights that this death is symbolic, you know? Then you're floating, thinking about ascension, Freud, maybe wish fulfillment again, wanting freedom.
That thought, it's finally happening, that really hints at a deep desire, doesn't it?
It really does. And spiritually, that floating sensation, often linked to out-of-body experiences, spiritual liberation, but then boom, the acquaintance interrupts, pulls you onto this shelf.
Yeah, what's that about?
Freud might say the acquaintance is another part of you, putting your ascension on hold.
Like hitting pause.
Exactly. And the shelf itself could be a liminal space, spiritually speaking, an in-between place. And that message, it was not my time yet. Powerful. Freud might say that's your subconscious screaming, I want to live, I have stuff to do.
Makes sense. Unfinished business.
Or spiritually, it fits with ideas like a soul contract. You've got a purpose, experiences you still need to have here.
Okay. Then being forced through the wall.
Yeah, Freud could see that as breaking through major psychological barriers. Old patterns shattering.
A real breakthrough moment.
Spiritually, that wall could be a big blockage, just breaking down, opening up new awareness. And the quick life review. Freud might say that's the ego trying to make sense of everything, faced with death.
Your life flashing before your eyes, trying to grasp the meaning.
Exactly. Spiritually, though, it's often seen as more of an assessment, quickly seeing the key lessons, which leads to that final realization, not ready, lots to do, need more experience before ascension.
Grounded back in reality.
Totally. Freud sees the drive to live, achieve goals. Spiritually, it underlines that earthly experience is actually crucial for your overall spiritual journey.
So, pulling it all together, what's the big takeaway? It feels like the dream is saying growth, even spiritual growth, isn't about escaping life's challenges. It's about diving into them, engaging fully with your experiences, your purpose right now. That longing for transcendence is real, it's acknowledged, but the focus is firmly on the present journey. The lesson's right here.
That really puts the ball back in your court, doesn't it? It makes you wonder, what unfinished business or experiences might this dream be pointing to for you? And here's a final thought to chew on. How might facing whatever feels like your pursuers, maybe with that sense of surrender instead of just fighting, how might that actually open up your path to a deeper understanding, your own kind of ascension?